Oh, hello, friend. It's like a stranger who's not a stranger. It's funny.
Hello, friend. How are you?
Yeah, really well, thank you. How are you? How was your holiday? Was it super?
Oh, I wish I could say yes, it was definitely super, but I ended up with COVID and I was quite sick. But yeah, but I got to have
You're
lots of chill time with my sister. We watched lots of movies.
you're like, oh life, thank you. Of all the times in all the world, great. Yeah.
But you know what? You just get on with it, right? Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it was
yeah.
fine. I can't. We have tried to book this in between the two of us for so long now. I'm so glad we're able to make it work. Thank you so much. We're just going to dive straight in if that's okay, just because otherwise
Yeah,
we get
fine.
talking and all the good juicy stuff comes out. Um, all right, let's jump in. Hi. Well, hang on before we do. Whereabouts are you? I heard you're moving back to Australia.
Yeah, we come back to it. So we've been in Spain for a year, connecting our kids to culture and grandparents, and we come back to Oz to Tasmania on the 15th of January. Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh, that's so exciting. What a life you've been living as well. Well, thank you again for sharing your time and your experience inside the mastermind with everyone. But what I want to do is, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? So, what do you do for your clients? And where were you even before you ever came across us?
Fabulous. Yeah. One of the things you ask us to do in the course, which is the easiest way I find to talk about what I do, is like, what are you not okay with? And I love that question. It was such a freeing question. And I realized for me, I was not okay with the fact, like, if you were to ask like a parent, a friend, a family member about how to describe a particular woman in their life, they would have these amazing words like caring, fabulous, funny, glamorous, witty, intelligent, ambitious. But if you were to go into that person's head and watch their world for the day, it would be like something from a horror movie. The self-judgment, the criticism, everything that's not good enough. It was brutal. And so from that, what I now have distilled that to, which is what I love doing, is actually I help self-critical career women really quieten that inner critic and amplify their self-confidence and self-belief so they can start living fearlessly, and stop getting stuck. I hate it when people get stuck. It's not a fun place to be.
It's not at all. How does it sound now, you being able to roll that off the tongue and be really like confident and clear in exactly what you're doing and who you're here to serve?
It's very it's very liberating, and it's very reassuring in some ways. I think the place I was before I came to you, I think, to answer your previous question, was I had a lot of limiting beliefs about my capability, about my skill set, about would anyone actually want to have any of these things I've been doing for so many years? Would it be useful? And a lot of inner critic thoughts. And so for about 5 years, I'd been wanting to do this, but I wasn't in the right place to do it. And so then coming to you and your course, it just helped me work through all of that. And it was bloody uncomfortable. It was super uncomfortable, but actually the course allowed me to feel that fear and that discomfort and work through some of those things and actually be able to sort of launch my business, which has been the best thing.
So this has been a 5-year vision to
Yeah.
create this.
Yeah.
And now you're here.
Yeah,
five
totally.
years is a lifetime. So
Yeah.
what happened? Like what activated you where you were like, I'm making this happen now?
What happened was I have done a lot of, in that 5 years, I've done a lot of work personally on my own limiting beliefs and inner critic. So by peeling away a lot of that, I've also actually grown my own confidence. And so at the beginning of 2023, my partner and I made the decision to move to Spain. And so that was a catalyst for everything, because to do that, I had to stop my career. And for many years, my career was my worth, it was my identity, and I was totally wrapped up in it. And so even thinking of stepping away was incredibly terrifying, because I thought, if I didn't have my career, who am I? What's my worth? And so actually going, hang on a second, what's important in our lives? Oh, it's adventure, it's family, it's community. And making a decision to live that then just like opened up all these these other doors. It was like a ripple effect. So then actually by doing that and leaving, I then got made redundant, actually, funnily enough, 6 weeks into my leave with year without pay, which was wonderful, terrifying and uncomfortable and all the things, but wonderful. And within that, they gave me a redundancy payout. And so at that point, I was like, right, well, this is the time. Like, I'm going to use a bit of that to actually invest in myself and to make this happen, because we've got the time. The universe is clearly saying, hello, hello, if you're going to do it, it's got to be now. So that was kind of the key moment, I think.
Wow, all the stars are finally aligning for you. That's fantastic. And so, did you have any hesitations though before working with us, or
Yes,
yeah?
yes, totally. Because like absolutely, like investing in it's, do you know what's interesting? I've spent 12 years accumulating knowledge to do what I do in terms of psychology degrees, postgraduate psychology degrees, accreditations, and it equates to about $60,000. So the course I've created has basically got all that time and all that money created into it. And so what was fascinating was actually then, though, this was a different mindset around taking that, paying the money to be a part of your course, to bring this to people. It was fascinating how many objections I had to that. Yep. But equally, on the flip side, knowing that it was the right time, I needed to do this. I deserved to do this. My partner was supportive. We had the money. So if you're not going to do it now, then you just got to jog on.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. I'm so excited for you. Amelia's got nothing but, oh my goodness, Amelia, your coach. She is just like one of your biggest raving fans. Like, she was so excited for you. So what has been, well, share what your growth has been since coming through, both financial, but also like personally. What's that been like for you? You're right.
Yeah, sorry, it's morning frog in the throat.
Yeah. It's early
So
morning for you. It's late afternoon for me. Love it.
yeah, yeah.
From the opposite side of the world. It's fantastic.
I love it. Yeah, if you hear any background noise, it's like the wildlings getting ready for school, but I think they should be okay. I think two key things. So the easy one to share is the business growth. So the business growth, I've signed up 2 clients within 2 weeks of launching and putting my offer out there to my private Facebook group, which was amazing. And already I have maybe 2 or 3 more calls with potential people coming through. So there's traction, which is exciting. So I think that makes me realize what I've got is in the right direction and people are responding well to it. But the personal growth, I think that probably is far more valuable to me than actually the financial side. And so I think it just crushed for me a lot of assumptions and rules I had in my head. So, for instance, I was deeply uncomfortable about making my Facebook profile public. Because for me, I've always been, I'm not very confident or comfortable being in the spotlight and putting myself out there. And so this for me, I had to work through because I had these rules in my head around if I put my profile public, people are going to think this, they're going to judge me, they're going to tear me down. So I had to work through my own inner critic with that, but it was deeply uncomfortable. But by doing that, obviously, and taking that leap into something that was uncomfortable, it meant so many other things were then fine, because obviously that was one of the biggest deals for me. And I think the other thing that was good. That growth has been amazing. And it's meant that I'm just way more, I don't really care anymore about what I'm doing in the terms of if I'm uncomfortable, I'm so much more confident at doing it anyway. And I think the second one was assumptions and rules I had in my head around my friends won't buy from me. And that sounds really crass, but like all the people in my Facebook group, apart from maybe 5, are people I know. I've got 100 people in there at the minute. Yet every single person who has said yes to working with me are people who I've had relationships with either for maybe 5 years as good friends. Some are family, which I know might be a bit ethically interesting, but we work through that. And some are people who I maybe did a couple of workshops 4 years ago and have like, yeah, I've seen the way you do things and I like your style. So that was a really interesting insight for me, that actually friends and family have been wanting to sort of work with me, which has been beautiful.
Yeah, you're not alone in that hesitation around what will people think, and oh, they're my family and friends and I can't. And so how has the Wealthy Woman Mastermind processes and tools kind of allowed you to move through that part confidently?
I think the biggest thing for me was actually Amelia, my coach. One, she's an epic human, so just chatting with her is awesome, and I wish she could just be my best friend forever. But the thing she did, which I needed, was she just knew exactly who she needed to be to help me. And I needed someone who was a firm friend, someone who was going to be there to support and encourage, but also kick my ass lightly. And so the biggest thing that helped me, two things probably. One was Amelia just being like, okay, this is all you need to do right now. And then this is all you need to do right now. So breaking everything down into teeny tiny steps, which keeps you moving and it keeps you motivated and it keeps you taking action. So that was one thing. And then the other thing, in the vault that you get as a part of this course, you've got everything lined out and everything is stepped out for you. And if you follow those steps, it takes you to where you need to be. So again, I think the biggest thing that it helped me with was it took the overwhelm and complexity out of actually going, how the heck would I do this if I was doing it on my own, and breaks it into small steps. And for me, having someone like that, Amelia's accountability person, just helped me work through that as well. And when I got stuck working through those sticky bits, so that for me was just absolutely invaluable.
Oh, that's great. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to share that with her. Thank you very much. So, what would you say to a woman? What advice, actually, no, what advice would you have for someone who might have been or might be watching this who's in a similar situation to you? Been thinking about really making their coaching business a lot bigger, or maybe getting started for a long time now. Maybe they've had some success and it's kind of dropped off. Like, what advice would you give them?
There's two things that come to mind. The first is actually from a client of mine, and the work we've done. And for her, when she gets stuck, when she starts giving up on herself or feeling like things aren't working out or doubting her abilities, or she feels resistance in her body towards taking steps, she asks herself this question. And I ask myself this question nearly daily now. But she's like, what do you want your story to be? And so for me, like when I ask myself that, like, what do I want my story to be? Who do I want to be? That then is so motivating for me to make uncomfortable decisions, feel uncomfort in my body, feel the fear and do it anyway. So I think the biggest bit of advice for me that I would like that would if anyone's in that position, is just like, well, what's important to you? How do you want to live your life, and who do you want to be known for? And so, yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, we get stuck. Yes, we make mistakes. Yes, we go backwards before we go forwards. However, there's so much learning in that, and there's so much growth in that. So feel the fear and do it anyway, for sure.
Oh my goodness, that's very, very powerful advice. Very powerful advice. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. And what's next for you? Like, what's that next horizon looking like for you?
So yeah, going back to Tasmania in January. So just gonna go enjoy my family and have Christmas in England with snow and everything for a few weeks, which is going to be beautiful. But the first quarter of 2024, I'm going to be expanding my hybrid program, my hybrid group coaching program, and really looking to find work with more wonderful women in that space. So that's kind of where I'm putting out there to the universe, and I'm really excited to welcome more people in. And that's what I'm going to be aiming for sure.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. The hybrid is the best because it's scalable, right? You can
Available. Yep, totally.
scalable. You can be in Tassie, you can be in Spain, you can be in the UK, you can be anywhere, and you can
Yeah.
still run it. I love that.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, is there anything else that you would like to share before we do?
Well, I don't feel thank you quite cuts it. I'm like, yes, thank you. But like, I think I was hesitant and reluctant. I'm a very cynical British person. So to get money from me is very hard because I need to see results and need to believe that like it's going to work. And so for me, I got all of the things I needed through this course. And that was only by being able to engage with not all of it because of the time, some of the time differences. So I could still get great results from what you've created and the team you have and the genuine and authenticity of what you've created and the people you have, which for me was just wonderful. So that's what I'm really grateful for, is I think the authenticity and the simplicity you've brought. So thank you to you and your team.
Thank you very much. We highly appreciate that. And yeah, I can't wait to see what 2024 has in store for you.
Me too. Hopefully some cheese making courses as well. That's what I'm aiming for. More cheese
Oh my
making
God,
courses.
Tassie has the best wine, the best food. I spent a lot of time in Tassie. I love it. So
Oh,
enjoy. Well, I'm wishing
that's,
you and your family such a beautiful Christmas, and
thank you.
welcome home very soon, back
Thank
to the
you.
land
Thank
of
you.
Oz. And yeah, just thank you so much for sharing your journey and being so vulnerable and, you know, sharing quite personal things with everyone. And by the way, her two clients, everyone wants to know, her two clients was how much?
$6,000.
$6,000. Pretty cool, right?
Pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Well, here's to 6 more and 60 more and 600 more. Thank you again. Ladies, if you feel that you could get a lot of value from Anna and what she does as well, make sure you do reach out to her. It's Anna Taylor, Tayler. You'll probably find us connected on Facebook as well. So she's very, very good at what she does. So thank you again, Anna. Have an amazing holiday. We'll see
You
you soon,
too.
ladies.
Pleasure.
Bye.
See ya.